along.avec.anna. I'm Anna, and this is a knitting and a sewing podcast from the southwest of England in the United Kingdom. You can find me pretty much everywhere on internet with the name along.avec.anna, but I'm mostly active on Instagram. You can find all my projects, sewing or knitting project, as well as tutorials on my blog. And it's along.avec.anna.com. It's in English and in French. You just have to change the little flag on the top left. You can find my patterns that are on Ravelry. So the name of my designer Ravelry store is along.avec.anna as well. And then of course this YouTube channel along.avec.anna. And I do have a Patreon page for my design. But it's only in French. I always speak bilingual everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, my blog, YouTube, I always try to put all the content in French and in English. But for another reason, the Patreon page is only in French. So if you understand French, you're welcome to join and see the behind the scene of my designer work and see the content and have the patterns and all that. So welcome if you are new to this podcast. I think it's my third podcast in English. I've been podcasting in French for more than 2 years now, 2.5 years I think. But if I remember well, I think it's only the third or the fourth episode in English. Anyway, so welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've watched the other episode. I hope you're okay. I just recorded a French episode and I ended up recording for over an hour when I was planning to do it really quickly. So if I have trouble to speak sometimes, I'm very sorry about that. For me, it's sometimes hard to switch from like fully French to fully English. But yeah, it's only the first few minutes and then I'll be fine. I'm used to switch in the same sentence a lot sometimes, but not like fully French, fully English like that within a few minutes. It's a bit weird. But yeah, no, I hope it's going to be okay and you're going to enjoy this podcast. This podcast will be only about knitting this time because I've been away for quite a while, so I haven't had the chance to do anything sewing related. I do have a lot of projects to show you. Most of them are some of my patterns that I released or that I'm going to be releasing soon, so I'll show you all of that. I've got some yarn that I bought and the other accessories that I bought in Ireland. Let's crack on. So yeah, I hope you are well since the last time. So it's been over 2 months that I recorded the last episode. The only reason is that because we went to Ireland for the first 2 weeks of July, we went to Ireland on holidays with my partner and my little girl. It was really nice, really enjoyable, first time in Ireland, and we loved it. And then after that, I took my little girl with me to go to France, to Brittany, where my parents live. And we stayed there for over a month. It was really nice. The weather was insane. We went to the beach every day. It was just, yeah, really, really amazing. And I could have recorded an episode there, but the internet from where my parents are is so bad. Like, it is quite bad normally, but because they had a lot of storm last winter, some of the cables actually fell on the floor and they didn't even, like, no one even repaired them. So the internet is so slow. It's even hard to like watch Netflix if someone else is using internet. It's just, it's terrible. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I could have recorded, but I couldn't upload the video. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait and be at home and show you everything I want. So yeah, that's why. But I'm back. So I'm gonna show you what I finished. So I'm gonna start with this one because I'm wearing it as well. So I'm wearing my Margot. So I don't really know how you say in English. Margot, I would say. My Margot cardigan that I released at the end of July. So yeah, so it's a top-down cardigan knitted in finger weight yarn, so 26 stitches by 34 rows. It's a raglan, but with a lace on the raglan, and then you have a lace panel on each front as well. So it's not the same lace, but it's kind of like similar idea. And then of course you've got the raglan lace at the back as well. So yeah, so this is my second version actually. If you look at the pattern, so it's online on Ravelry. I've put quite a lot of pictures on Instagram, and I did a blog post about the pattern. The official version is this one, which was knitted in the yarn Julie Asselin. So I don't know if you know Julie Asselin, she's a really, really talented dyer from Quebec in Canada. And so this is her Fino base. So it's merino, cashmere, and I need to double check, I can't remember if it's silk or nylon, but it's one of the two. And the colorway is Sauge Argenté. So I think that in the last episode I've told you about the yarn already, but I couldn't really show you the design because it wasn't ready. So if I remember well, from over 2 months ago, that's what I did. So I told you about the yarn already. The yarn is really amazing. I really like the definition of the stitch, which was really good even before blocking. So I was really impressed. The definition of the lace after blocking is just stunning. Look at that. Like, it's so nice. Like, honestly, really, really impressed with that. And I like this yarn because it was a bit thicker than a normal fingering wet yarn. So usually I knit in 3.25 millimeter needles, and for this one to have the gauge and the result I wanted, I used the 3.5 millimeter needles. So yeah, very pleased with that. So yeah, basically top down raglan with like a round neckline, lace panel and twisted ribbing at the sleeve and the hem here. It's really easy. It's not really complicated, to be honest. There is a cal at the moment, a knit along, but it's in French, but I guess you could join if you wanted, but if you have any question, worst case you can just write an email to me. So the address is along.avec.anna@gmail.com. I'm going to put all the links and all the things I tell you about in the blog post on my blog, and then the address of the blog post will be in the description below. So yeah, so there is a cal at the moment in the French knitting community, and apparently everything is okay, and no one's really got any trouble or anything to understand the pattern, which is good. Some beginners started to knit it and are really enjoying it, so that's quite nice. So yeah, so that was the first version that I knitted in size 85 centimeters for the bust circumference, which is about 5 centimeters of positive ease, 5 to 6 centimeters for me. And I really like the result, but I wanted to knit another version in another yarn. So this yarn is from a French dyer. It's called Tôt le matin yarn, so early in the morning, kind of. I think I've shown you the skeins last time that I bought. And the colorway is Valentine, so Valentine. And it's a really nice pink with speckles, and you've got speckles of like charcoal, grey charcoal, black, pink, purple. It's really, really nice. I really like the definition of the lace as well on this one. So you can see that the fingering is like thinner than on the other one, so the result is a tiny bit different, but I really like it as well. And for this one I decided to knit one size down, so I knitted the smallest size, which is 80 centimeters of bust circumference, so I've got only 1 centimeter of positive ease, which is good. So it's a bit tight to close it, but I didn't want to close it. I wear the other one like open or closed, or only closed with 1 or 2 buttons as well, you'll see on the pictures. But this one I wanted to have it mostly open because it's a really like summery cardigan to go on into like tops like that. So I wanted to see the top, so people could see the top, so I didn't want it to be too like coming over the top too much. So for this reason I knitted a size down. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the result. I like the twisting ribbing, I like the definition of the stitch and the colorway. yeah, really pleased with this one, and I really like the, it's hard to say because obviously I designed it, so I'm pleased with the result, even if sometimes you're not, but then you rip it all off and start again. But this one I really like the result, but I like to have round neckline like this. I find it really feminine, and yeah, that's my style. So yeah, so that's Margot. That you can find on Ravelry, as I said. What else did I finish? So last time I've shown you Marik. Marik is a pattern that I released in February for children, and a lot of people started color work with this one because it's a really easy pattern for color work, because you don't have to catch your floats. You never have more than 4 stitches of the same color, so that's good. You can just carry your floats behind, but you don't need to catch them. So for beginners it's really good. And a lot of people asked me for an adult version, so which I did. So last time I've shown you the adult version bottom up of the Marik. It's weird to say with an English accent. That wasn't released yet. It was just, I think we were just starting the testing. Since then I knitted a second version top down, so I'm going to show it to you now. So here it is. This is the second version, made in the same yarn as the first one, so l'Enamouré, a French dyer, but different colorway obviously. So this is M comme Mademoiselle, and then you've got light grey and a light pink. You can't really see on the camera. So it's a different style, but same jumper, and I like it like as much really. And this is top down. So basically what I did is I wrote the bottom up pattern first because it was like the children pattern. But then I realized that because you have more rows in between the colors, it was actually possible to change it for top down without having the increases in the middle of the colors, which I didn't want. That's something I didn't want to have. So then I wrote entirely the top down pattern, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna release the top down for sure, because I know that more people like the top down than the bottom up. Then I thought, what am I going to do with the bottom up, because I'm sure people would like it too. Like some people like more to knit bottom up jumpers than top down. So yeah, I decided to release both. So you'll find Marik Lady top down and Marik Lady bottom up. They are exactly the same pattern, or like very similar. It's only your preference that will decide if you want a top down or bottom up. Like they're exactly the same. There is no, a lot of people ask me like if I'm a beginner, what's the best? It really depends what you want. The advantage of the top down is that you can choose the length of your sleeve and your body if you don't really know how long you should knit for, because obviously in the pattern it's always standard size. But I know, because I knit a lot, that I know exactly how many centimeters I need to have for like a yoke construction or a raglan. I usually know how much I need, but yeah, if you're a beginner, you don't always know that. So yeah, so that could be easier, but again, other people rather have top down, because you then can knit the sleeve without having all the body to like turn around for like magic loop or whatever. So it's really how you prefer. But yeah, really like this version. It's really different, but really pleased with it. We took the picture in Ireland and I was really happy with the result. So the pattern has been released last weekend, so on the 1st of September, with kits from l'Enamouré exclusively. So you can find the pattern with her kits on her website, but the pattern will be officially released on its own tomorrow, so Friday the 7th, I think. So yeah, Friday the 7th, it will be released on its own on Ravelry. So again, in French and in English, always the two languages for me, with me. And you'll have, if you look on Instagram and even on the Ravelry page, I'll write it down, you'll have a promo, like a code, to have it with a certain percentage off the full price until Sunday night. So if you're interested, yeah, Marik will be out tomorrow. Yeah, so that's what I knitted in July because I really wanted to take the pictures in Ireland, so I kind of rushed to finish it to actually take the pictures on the Dingle Peninsula, and it was really nice just next to our cottage on one evening, and with the sunset. It was just exactly how I wanted it. And then we sat there and had a drink, and it was just, yeah, very, very happy moment. So when I see the pictures, I'm really happy because it's how I wanted them to turn out for the pattern. But on top of that, it makes me like remember that really nice time that we had sitting on the beach and on the rocks and like look at the sunsets. Yeah, very nice moment. So yeah, another thing that I knitted was, that I finished since last time, is a pattern that is not for me, and it's the Bow Blush from Andrea Mari. So it's a shawl, so it's been like folded, and I don't know where I've put it, maybe on the stairs or something, because yeah, it's not very flat, I'm sorry about that. But here it is. So it's a shawl with brioche stitch and lace panels, and yeah, I really like it. So normally you've got fringe here at the bottom, but I didn't really like it, so I decided not to add them at the end. I've done just the normal shawl. So that was my very first shawl. Because I've knitted a shawl in worsted weight yarn, but I haven't finished it yet. I should do it one day. But this was my very first fingering weight shawl, and I'm really pleased, really pleased. So I used the yarn from Lena Mouret, so same dyer as the Marique sweater. I use her yarn, and it's her base Cassiope, so it's Merino and Stellina. So it's pink but with some gold Stellina in it. So you can't really see on the camera, but it's really nice. Really like the result. And the color was Une ballerine dans un champ de paillettes. So I will write it down for you in case you're interested. And yeah, I've worn it a lot in the summer nights in Ireland or in France, because even if we had an amazing weather during the day, it was a bit chilly sometime in the evening. So it was perfect to just wear on top of a tank top or small cardigan, just like that, or as a scarf kind of. So I'm really new at shawl, so it's hard to see how to wear it, and it's, obviously I've done it really quickly here, but yeah. So I just washed it a second time, but I didn't block it a second time. Normally you don't have to block another time your project, except if it's like a lot of lace or something. But I might, with shawl, I think it's better to block them. Maybe not every time you wash them, but quite often. So yeah, I'll see. I'll see if I need to block it another time or not, but I needed to wash it because I've worn it quite a lot. So that's what I finished before going away, because I've blocked it here in the garden, and it was dried really quickly as we were in the middle of a heat wave. So that was quite nice. So yeah, that's finished. Then I've knitted a jumper that I can't really show you because I want to keep the surprise, as it's a design for me that will be released in October. All I can tell you is that the construction was kind of a revelation for me. I've never done that before, and I didn't think that I would like wearing that construction, and that it would fit me because I'm really, like, I'm tiny, like small, I mean, like I'm 1 meter 50, so I don't really know in inches, 5 I think or something. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't think it would actually fit me well, but I decided to give it a go, like try it, and I really like it. So you'll see in October, but I wanted to show you just a tiny bit to show you the yarn. So I've used the Wool Barn yarn. The Wool Barn is the yarn from Maya. She's a dyer in the UK, and her yarn here is yak base, yak DK base. So it's a DK wet yarn, and it's yak, merino I think, and silk. So it's really nice. It drapes like beautifully. It's really stunning, to be honest. It's really enjoyable to knit, and oh my god, like knitting DK wet yarn after doing so many fingering weight projects, it was just, oh, that's why it took me time to actually finish the I-cord and the bottom placket of this one, because I was just only into DK wet yarn, and it was like, oh my god, 3.25 millimeter needle, it's so small. I don't want to knit that anymore. So I needed a break, and then I finished obviously the Margot cardigan, but I knitted it in 2 weeks, so it was just, again, I can't show it to you now, but really good base. Really like it if you want something that drapes nicely and that is warm and really, yeah, stunning. Just go for the yak base from the Wool Barn. The colorway is Rosewood. She changed it. She gave me another name at first because she dyed that for a collaboration that we did together. So she didn't have the yarn in the shop when I asked her. I told her the kind of colorway I wanted, and she decided to call this one Rosewood. So obviously it's quite dark, so it's a brown purplish, really, yeah, really like kind of bright. Don't know how to say what I want to say, but yeah, really like this one. And depending on the light, the color is a bit different, so I really like that. But yeah, so the yak base, because it's a fiber that is grey naturally, you can't have a light colorway, so that's why it's quite dark, but I find it amazing for like autumn and winter. It's just perfect. You're not going to wear like a yak DK jumper in the middle of summer anyway, so then it's perfect. So that's what I finished. When did I finish that? In July, end of July I think. And then the pattern is, the testing of the pattern is almost over. The test has got 2 more days, and then it's technically the end of the test, and I will have a hat to go with it as well. So because I had a lot of yarn left, because I was thinking that it would actually use way more yarn than it did, I had all that yarn left, and I decided to design a hat to go with the jumper. So I don't have it, it's upstairs, but you'll see that they'll be released in same time. But yeah, so I think I finished that end of July or something like that. What else did I do recently? So I finished the Erel jumper, it's a Breton name for a girl, Erel. Then I finished my Margot cardigan, because I had, as I said, just the finishes to do. And I started this jumper, which is a design as well. So usually I don't really show my designs because I can't really show them on YouTube for different reasons, and because I've got my French pattern page as well. But this one I decided to show it to you because it's kind of a really simple jumper that I wanted to make, and because there is at the moment there is like kind of a big like knitting competition in the French knitting community about Harry Potter. So it's called Knittage. So it's like Quidditch and knitting, and they've done like Knittage. And it looks really nice. I don't do it because you need to show your project every time. So that's why I decided to not make this this test and this jumper secret, because I want them to be able to knit the jumper and to show what they're knitting to the Knittage group. So yeah, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so this is Susie, if you say it. I always try to use like girls / boys name if I do more like a male like pattern, I would say. But yeah, so this is Susie, and Susie is a very like comfortable, cozy jumper for winter. It's very simple, so it's raglan sleeves with very long 2x2 rib on the sleeves, and then 2x2 as well with a round neckline, and again 2x2 at the bottom, but a bit shorter than on the sleeves. It's a very, very cozy jumper that was knitted, so it's a DK gauge because it's knitted with one finger eight wet yarn and one lace mohair. So it's a mix that is really, really popular at the moment, and that's why, because it's just so cozy, it's nice, it's actually really nice to knit as well. So to make it, I used again the wool barn. This time I used the twist sock base. The colorway is Bramble, and it's finger eight wet yarn, superwash merino and nylon. And to go with it, I used the Drops Kid Silk mohair. So it's kids mohair and silk or something like that. And the colorway is 01. So it's white cream. I really enjoy the way they match. And yeah, so here's the result. I really like it. I'm not really into speckled yarn. I find it quite difficult to wear, so it's okay when it's like this, like, you know, kind of lines, and or when it's like this, like just dots a bit everywhere. But I don't like when it's like too much, really. I think I told you before. And this is just perfect. I found it like, it really gives something more to the jumper, but it's still really easy to wear with a pair of jeans. Can't really show you here, but yeah. So this design is quite simple because I needed in my pattern, I needed something that was really easy for, really beginner friendly, I would say. Because I often have the question like, what kind of pattern could I try within your patterns, because it's my first jumper or my first cardigan or something, and they are all accessible kind of for beginners, but maybe not for like proper beginners who've never knitted a jumper, when this one is definitely really like real beginner friendly. But it's still really nice for someone who's advanced and who just wants like an easy, chilled project. It's like, it's really something that you can knit in all the colors that you want. If you wanted to do stripes, you could. You just, yeah, just easy to wear, easy to knit, and beginner accessible. So this is Susie. I've just opened the test, and I've got all the testers for it, and we're gonna start that like probably this weekend, and it will be coming out hopefully maybe in November if everything goes well. We'll see, but yeah, it will come out sometime in between autumn and winter. So yeah, so you've got time to knit it to then wear it in the winter. So this is Susie, and that's the last one I've knitted, and I've knitted it honestly in 8 days, literally. So I know I knit quite maybe a bit fast, and I've knitted a lot on it. I worked really a lot on this cardigan, on this jumper this week, but still, DK, simple, stockinette stitch, really good 8 days. So that's really, yeah, you know, it feels good when you finish a project that quickly. It's really nice. So yeah, so that's all I've been knitted. And now let's go to work in progress. So the only work in progress I have at the moment, I do have a few samples that I've tried for design, but I can't really show them to you, and it's a bit pointless because it's only samples. But I'm going to show you quickly a very small project that I have, and it's a hat. So it's only the start. So here it is. I've got my little girl now playing next to me, so she's singing and stuff, but I'm going to try to continue the podcast. So yeah, so this is the start of the hat. So it's twisted ribbing, and then we'll have the hat there. I've made quite big ribbing. I don't know if I'm going to leave it that big or not. Yeah, that's all I can say for the moment because I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see how it turns out. and I'm knitting it in a merino, 100% merino yarn. I can't tell you from where it is because it's my friend Elise from the Instagram and French podcast Stitches who gifted it to me for my birthday in January. But it's a very, very nice pink, and then with it I'm knitting the Drops kit silk, so it's the same as the white one but it's a pink one. Not sure about the number, but it's the only pink that they have on the website, so it shows as pink on the website but it's actually more like purple. So yeah, so knitted together gives that, and it's quite nice. I've used it before for mittens for my little girl. Same knitted double with Dererum Natura Ulysse, so a French type of yarn, French company, in the colorway Quartz, which was a pink, like a bit more pale pink than this one, and I really liked how they were mixing together, so I decided to use it again for a hat. So we'll see how it turns out, need to wait. Then I'm going to show you what I bought recently. So I bought a lot of few things, including accessories. In Ireland I bought some blockers, like knit blockers. They're really, really good. It's the first time I'm using that because I used to use only the pin, and this is actually way better. It's way more expensive, but honestly it's just works really, really well. I really like it. It keeps the shape of the garment or of the shawl way better, and it's way easier to put and take off, and with a little one around I found it like it could be a bit obviously dangerous, so you always have to be careful. Yeah, I find it's better than those pins like coming out from everywhere. So yeah, so I finally bought that. I could have bought it on Amazon, obviously you find it everywhere, it's the Knit Pro ones, but I bought it in a shop in Ireland, in Dublin. And then in another shop, This Is Knit, I bought this Fringe Bag. I wanted to buy a Fringe Bag for ages, but because they're quite pricey, I was like, oh, is it really worth it? But they are actually really good. Are they worth the price? I don't know, because you don't have any lining or anything, but you do have pockets that are really handy. You even have pockets with little holes there, so it's perfect for color work. So your balls of yarn are not like twisted or anything, but that's quite good. And then yeah, it's not heavy, and it looks like quite resistant. So yeah, and that was a limited edition. Yeah, bought in This Is Knit, as I said, and I bought a few pins to go on it, and this one is the one from This Is Knit shop. And I've been using like everyday things, like I've got a few project bags with different projects inside, and when I finish a project I always put a new one in this one, and it's really nice. I recommend this bag. So that was my little treat from the trip. And then as well in Ireland I bought a jumper that was hand knitted technically in a shop. So I really wanted an Irish jumper for a long time. I could have knitted it myself, obviously, but you know, it's just a lot of time, like all the cables, it's quite long to knit, and then you have to find the perfect yarn and the perfect pattern, and I couldn't find really a pattern that I wanted, and then I found those jumpers that I really liked. Well, those cardigans, you had jumpers, you had cardigans, jackets, whatever you wanted, and I went for this cardigan. So I really like it. So it's really warm, so I haven't worn it at all for the moment, because it's too warm outside to actually wear something like that. But yeah, I think this winter it's going to be perfect. Really cozy, half cardigan, half jacket. Yeah, really Irish style, so I'm really pleased with that. Then I bought some yarn. So I bought just recently, last week, some DK weight yarn from the Wool Barn. Again, the Wool Barn, I have quite a lot of project with her yarn. So this is BFL base. I didn't know between Merino and BFL what I wanted, and I don't have a lot of BFL, so I thought it was a good idea to actually try it this time. The colorway is a bit more purple than I thought it would be on the website, but I really like it. It's still in my palette, but it's different from what I have because I do have a lot of pale pink already, so I wanted something that changed a bit. Yeah, so I took that. It's Heritage BFL DK, 100% superwash BFL, and it's the colorway Little Secrets. So I've got 4 of these, and that's going to be for a design. I already have the idea, just need to have time to cast on the design. But yeah, maybe hopefully this winter at some time this winter we'll see. But yeah, I can't wait to try this one. Then I went to my local yarn store yesterday and I bought some yarn for my little girl. So this is UK Alpaca. It's the brand that makes yarn from Tiverton, so it's really close to where I live in Devon. And this is DK and it's let me think, wool and alpaca. I think it's like 75% superfine alpaca, 25% wool, 50 grams, 112 meters. So I've got 4, and I'm gonna make a little cardigan for my girl. I decided to make the Noisette cardigan, which is a cardigan that I released last year, because I've made it in pink, but I'm not really happy with the yarn. I don't really like the yarn. I don't really like the way the yarn was after washing a few times. The color I'm not 100% happy with either. So yeah, so I just wanted to make her a new version. I'll probably take a picture and update the pattern with this version. And I really like this blue. The colorway is French Navy. So I don't know this brand, but the lady from my local yarn store said it was really nice, and they have really pretty colors as well. So I'm going to try that. So that's one of the projects I'm going to make very soon. And then another thing that I received, obviously I've got more yarn that I received for collaboration, but I can't show them to you all now because I need to keep some of them quite secret, and because I don't want to show them all to you today because I won't have anything to show you next time. So I wanted to show you this that I received from Moelle View Yarn, and that's for a collaboration, for a design, hopefully for this winter. Well, that will be released hopefully this winter if everything goes well. And this is fingering weight yarn, but quite thick, I think, because it's 300 meters for 100 grams. So it's more like a sport weight yarn, and it's kind of a lavender lilac purple, and this is a kid silk and mohair in another color. So I can't tell you now with what she dyed them with, as Moelle View Yarn does only natural dyes. She wrote to me on a paper what she used, but because I don't know in English what it is, I don't know the equivalent in French, I need to use Google Translate to see. I can't remember what it is, and I don't have the paper, so I'll write down what it is. So yeah, so they are supposed to be knitted together to have a kind of a DK gauge for a project. And yeah, I can't wait to try that. So it looks really nice, and I really like this one because it's really like furry. You can really see, like, it looks like it's still the sheep. It's really really nice, really different from the other mohair I've been knitting before. So obviously it's really different from like a kid silk from Drops, but as well from other mohair that I tried with other dyers. Yeah, and then when it's in cake, it's like this. So again, really, really furry everywhere. And then this is the purple. So yeah, you'll see in the winter how it looks like in a design. But yeah, that's why I received, and I was really happy to see like proper natural non-superwash yarn. from this dye. So yeah, that's the only thing I bought recently. Quite a lot of things to show you this time. And the last thing I wanted to tell you about was a contest that I'm organizing for my YouTube channel, because last time that I recorded, we reached over 4,000 followers already, and now we're close to 4,500. So thank you very much, because I'm really pleased that people continue to follow me, even though I can't do videos every week for a different reason, because most of what I'm knitting are my design, and I can't show that on YouTube because I've got a Patreon page as well where I try to show behind the scenes. So yeah, I just can't record every week, yeah, usually it's every month, except this time where it was really long because of holidays, obviously. But yeah, I wanted to thank you really to subscribe to my channel and to follow me and give me all the nice comments, especially on the English ones, because it's been quite something for me to record in English, even if I speak English like all the time, every single day. It's just different, like I said last time, to actually record yourself and hear your voice with the accent and all. It makes me a bit uncomfortable sometimes. So to have all those nice feedback, that was really really nice. So thank you very much. So to thank you, I'm organizing a contest. So for that, I'm going to open a thread on my Ravelry group on Ravelry. So my Ravelry group is along.avec.anna. Again, I'll put the link. I'm going to open a thread which will be contest along.avec.anna. And then what you have to do basically is subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. And write down with your YouTube name on the thread, write down a comment, and I'm asking you to tell me what you would like to see on along.avec.anna. It could be like on the YouTube channel, it could be on my Instagram page, and you could be on blog post, a type of design you would like to see in my Ravelry store that I could make. Just something else that you would like to see, so then I've got more ideas, and then I'll obviously take a winner, and I'll do 2 winners because I've got videos in French and videos in English, so I'm going to do 2 prizes, but it will be all in the same Ravelry thread. And for the winners, so the 2 winners will have a skein of yarn each. So I'm thinking a skein of yarn to go with a project bag that I will make. So I haven't made the project bag yet, but one would be Alice in Wonderland theme, and the other one would be another type of fabric. But they will be the project bags that I make on Etsy, make and sell on Etsy. So I'll have a skein of yarn with a bag for each winner. And for the skein of yarn, it's the yarn from Air de Lune. So she's a French dyer, but she's based in Boston, and she dyes really, really nice colors. So she gifted me 4 skeins of yarn last winter, and I wanted to, the idea was to gift them to people who participated in my Nordic cal. So it was a cal about color work that I will probably do this winter again. But I had already quite a lot of gifts to give to people, so I asked Emma, the dyer, if I could keep the skein for another time, another type of contest. And she said, yeah, no problem, do whatever you want. So I've got 4 skeins. I kept 2 for me because she nicely gifted them to me, and I've got 2 to give to you. So one is a pink one, Melina, and the other one is a grey, kind of, yeah, grey brownish, and it's Caillou. And both of them are 100% Merino Superwash, 100 grams, 400 meters, 438 yards. So yeah, so if you're interested to participate in the contest, please feel free. Just be sure you subscribe on the you subscribe on the channel, and just pop into the Ravelry thread that I will be opening especially for the contest. Just leave me the message, and I will announce the winners in the next podcast which will be probably in a month from now or something like that. So yeah, thank you very much. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope you enjoyed everything that I had to show you today. Please feel free to just leave me a comment to tell me what you liked, what I could improve, and yeah, anything else, like where you're from or whatever. It's quite nice to actually know the people who are watching your video. And I wish you a very nice weekend or a very nice week if you're watching this episode next week, and I'll chat with you again very soon. Bye!